Hi class, this is lesson 9 of our fractions unit. This is going to be addition with fractions. Okay, this is a really important lesson. It's what we've been working up to this whole time. As you can see, there's a whole lot of different things on the piece of paper for things you should know to have success in this lesson. That's because literally every lesson we've had so far has been giving you some sort of skill or practice with some element that you're going to need to do in order to successfully add with fractions. Okay, this is important to you for that exact reason. It's been building all to this. This is the big moment to show that you can do it. It's also going to be really good practice to show that you can take a bunch of different skills, you can persevere through a difficult question, you can put all those skills together and come out with success at the end by getting a right answer on a multi-step problem. Okay. Goals for this lesson, we're going to try to review all of those skills. So I'm going to be repeating how to do all of those things like prime factorization, greatest common factor, least common multiple, equivalent fractions and simplifying, modeling your fractions, mixed numbers and improper fractions, rewriting your fractions. Okay? Because of that, this is going to be a fairly long video. All right? But we'll be just fine, I promise. We'll try not to make it too horrible long. Before we move on, though, I want to tell you some true facts of mathematical truth. To add fractions, you have to have common denominators. You just do, okay? And with those common denominators, when you're actually adding across, you only add the numerators. The denominator is going to stay the same the whole time, okay? At the end, you need to simplify all of your answers in mixed number form. You cannot have any improper fractions. Okay? You will not need to do all of the steps for every problem. In fact, in my class, we're going to start off with easier problems and work our way up to the really difficult ones like the ones you're seeing. Okay? That means some of the steps you'll see today are going to be skipped. And a little heads up for people in my class, I'm going to let you know what your quiz is going to be. Okay? Your quiz to have the right to go on and work on the math lab is going to be able to write out the steps that I'm saying. I want to see that you actually watch this. I want you to write out all the steps that I'm doing in order. Okay? Very good. Let's get started. The first of the two different methods that we're going to learn today, the first is called the mixed number strategy. Okay? And in this strategy, we're going to take all of our numbers, and we don't want any improper fractions. Whole numbers are okay, fractions are okay, and mixed numbers are okay. But improper fractions are not okay. And that's because what we're going to do is we're going to take all of the whole numbers, put them to one side, keep them for later, and only worry about the fractions. So let's do that right now. Let's get all of these numbers in whole number, mixed number, or just proper fraction form. So the 3 is fine. So I'm going to bring the 3 over this way. Okay? I've got a 3. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 with that. Okay? And we're going to add that. I've got a 1 right there. I'm going to bring that one over as well. Okay, that one's going to come down right there. And there's 1. Very good. Now I have no more whole numbers. This is a proper fraction with the numerator smaller than the denominator, and I have one improper fraction. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to rewrite it. Okay, I need to do 7 divided by 4. It's going to fit in once with a remainder of 3 once I subtract this 4 out. So that's going to change that into the 7/4 is going to be 1 3/4. So I'm going to take that extra 1 and I'm going to bring it with as well. Okay, here's my extra 1. There it is. So as we can tell, we've already done a lot of the addition as it is. 3 plus 1 plus 1 is 5 wholes. Okay, that's going to be our whole number section right there. Now what I want to do is switch my colors so that you can see it a little bit better, and I'm going to pull out all of the fractions we have left over and bring them over. Okay, so we have those 3 fractions. I'm going to bring this one all the way over first, and it's going to be 1/20. Okay, then this one's coming with us. We've got 4/5, and then this one, I'm going to bring it down, and I have 3/4. When you're showing your work, you don't need to do all of those arrows like I'm doing. That might be more confusing as you're looking at it. I just wanted to show you where they're coming from. It's going to be very important to go slow and keep your work organized, okay? And I'm not even the best example of that, but I'm going to try my best. Using graph paper or line paper will really help you keep your numbers clear, all right? We're going to pause on our whole numbers, and we're going to work only on our fractions. Okay? All of our fractions need to have a common denominator. To find a common denominator, the least common denominator is like the word least common multiple for the denominators. So we're going to do that. All right? I'm going to find my least common multiple of my denominators. So I'm going to break down my denominators. 4 breaks down into 2 and 2. 5 is already a prime number, so we can't break it down. 20 is going to break down into 4 and 5, and then into 2 and 2. This should look pretty familiar with you guys. All right, so we've got 4, 5, 20. I'm going to match them all up. 4's got those 2 2's. Put in my columns. 5, it's got just a 5, so I'm going to put it by itself. There's no space right there for it. And then 20, I've got 2, another 2, and a 5. Now remember, in least common multiple, we said we use all of our columns. We're going to use every single one. 2 times 2 times 5. And it's going to give us a least common multiple for the denominators of 20. That means once we've got our common denominator, okay, we need to rewrite all of our fractions as their equivalents with a new denominator. Okay, so that's our next step. We're going to take all of those fractions. Okay, I'm going to do, that's not the way I wanted to write that. Pick that up real quick. I'm going to go back to blue here. I'm going to have 3/4. Okay, and I'm going to need that to equal something over 20. And I'm going to have 4/5, and I'm going to need that to equal something over 20. And we're going to review the 2 different ways to find this. Okay, I showed you 2 different ways. The first way is to think about 4. What times 4 equals 20? Well, I know that 4 times 5, okay, and it's even right up there, right up here. 4 times 5 is going to give me 20, so I'm going to do 4 times 5, and I'm going to do the same thing to the top, okay, and that's going to give me 15. So I have 15 20ths right there. Over here, we're going to do a little bit different. We're going to do the cross multiply. Remember, we have a variable. We can do it like this. 5x's equals 4 times 20 is 80. Okay. Well, how many times does 5 fit into 80? Well, in order to do that, we need to divide both sides by 5. Those will cancel out. Let's divide 80 by 5 in red. 80 divided by 5. It's going to fit in once. Subtract out my 5. I'm going to get a 3. Bring down my 0, and I've got a 6. Okay? So that means I'm going to have 16 as my numerator. 16 is my numerator, and keep my denominator of 20. The denominator right there. Good. So now I have 15 20ths and 16 20ths to add to that last one way up here, okay, which was 1 20th. So we have to add all of those fractions together now. All right? Come down a little bit further, get some more. Now the best way to do this, remember I said you're only going to add the numerators. So let's only add the numerators. 15 plus 16 plus 1 equals 5 plus 6 is 11, plus 1 is 12. Carry my 1. It's 32 20ths. Keep your denominator. It's very important. Okay, we've got a problem here. Remember I said that our answers can't have any improper fractions? You can do one of 2 things now. You can either turn that improper fraction into a mixed number, or you can simplify it first. This time I'm going to choose to simplify it first. Okay, that means we need to find the greatest common factor. So now we're going to review finding greatest common factor. We're going to have to do another factor tree for 32 and for 20. For 20 we've already done it. Okay, so I'm just going to breeze through that one, write them down and circle them up. But 32 I'm going to take a little more time. 32, I'm going to do 4 and 8. 8 times 4. Very good. It's going to give us a 2 and a 2. Those are finished. But this 8 is going to be a 4 and a 2. And then a couple more 2's. Now I need, remember, for greatest common factor, I need to do one of these little L shapes again. So I'm going to put my 20 here first and fill in those. I had 5, 2, 2. Used all of those. Now, for 32, I have 0 5's, but I know I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's. I only have 2's, and I have 5 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, for our greatest common factor, we can only use the matches, the columns that are full. Greatest common full. Should remember that. So our only full columns are 2 and 2. Multiplied together give us 4. So now we're going to simplify our improper fraction. Okay? Our improper fraction was 32 over 20. I'm going to borrow a little space. I'm going to come over here. 32 over 20. I'm going to divide them both by 4. Excuse me. Divide them both by 4 to find equivalent fractions yet again. 32 divided by 4, dividing straight across, is going to give us 8. And then 20 divided by 4 will give us 5. We still have an improper fraction. So since we simplified first, now we have to make it into a mixed number. So I'm going to divide my numerator by my denominator. 8 divided by 5, it's going to fit in one time. So that'll be our whole number. One whole. Subtract out our 5. We're going to get a remainder of 3. So that means 8 fifths equals 1 and 3 fifths. Now, we're finally done adding all of our fractions. I'm going to go back up and review what just happened. We started with a problem for the mixed number strategy. We took all of the whole numbers away, and we pulled all of the fractions aside. We then added all of the fractions, going through all of those steps, and have brought ourselves back down to a mixed number. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to pull this 1 back up with us, this 1 and 3 fifths. Okay? So I've got an extra 1. I'm going to use green so we can remember it. I've got an extra 1. Okay? An extra 1 to give me a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wholes. 6. And then I just used that fraction that was left over, which was 3 fifths. And that is the mixed number strategy. Next, we're going to do the improper fraction strategy. We're going to get the same answer. It's just going to be a different way to get there. Okay? It'll be up to you guys to decide which one you like best and which one works best for you. It really doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter to your teacher. Although some problems might be easier one way and other problems might be easier another way. Whatever makes sense the most to you is the one you should use. For this one, in the sake of time, I'm not going to review how to do all those individual steps as much. I'm going to assume you can find the greatest common factor or least common multiple and find equivalent fractions. I will just kind of put them all up there. Okay? So for this one, we need to rewrite everything as an improper fraction. All of our whole numbers and all of our mixed numbers need to become improper fractions. So you guys can remember that the way to do it for a whole number is real easy. Just put a 1 underneath it. Then we're going to add that to 7 fourths. That's already an improper fraction. Great. Problem right here, 1 and 4 fifths. We need to multiply. 5 parts of 1 whole would be 5. Plus 1/4 would be adding 9 fifths. And finally, 1/20th. That's fine. It's just a fraction by itself. That's fine. Proper fractions and improper fractions only for this strategy. Again, we need common denominators. Okay? The common denominator is going to be the least common multiple of the denominators, and I'm going to tell you right off that's going to be 20. Okay? Then your next step after that is going to be to find equivalent fractions with the new denominator. You can watch the lesson 3 on that, or you can watch the previous part of this video if you need review on how to find the equivalent fractions. But right now I'm just going to tell you it's 60, excuse me, 60 over 20 plus, bring that down, 35 over 20 36 over 20. And finally, 1 over 20. Good. You've done very well. Remember, when we are adding all of our fractions up, we only add the numerators, because the denominators are just telling us how many parts are needed for one whole. The only thing we actually have to add is the numerators. So I'm going to line it up right along here on the side. I'm going to say 60 plus 35 plus 36 plus 1. 0 plus 5 is 5, plus 6 is 11, plus 1 is 12. Carry my 1 up top. 1 plus 6 is 7, plus 3 is 10, plus 3 is 13. I have 132. What did I keep saying to do? Keep your denominator. Okay? There it is, straight across. 20. We have a dilemma. We can either simplify or turn our improper fraction into a mixed number. Last time I simplified first, so this time I'm going to turn it into a mixed number first. So 132, 20 is going to fit into there 6 times, so that's going to give me 6 wholes, and then it's going to have 12 out of 20 left over. So now we just have to simplify. We're going to use our greatest common factor. Again, you can watch a previous video for a review on how to do that. But our greatest common factor for this is going to be 4. If I divide top and bottom by 4, straight across, 12 divided by 4 gives me 3. 20 divided by 4 gives me 5. We're going to bring down our whole number and our fraction to get a final answer of 6 3/5. Okay? There you go. 6 3/5. Pull it down. Actually, I believe I wrote it up there. 6 3/5 right here. I'll circle it for you. Either way. Now, don't just think that the improper fraction way is a lot easier, because I did all the math in my head and only put up the work, so it looks a lot cleaner, okay? They're about equally the same and difficult. Some questions are harder for one strategy, some questions are harder for the other strategy. It's whatever makes the most sense to you, okay? Great luck on your homework tonight. Thanks so much for your attention.